welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACTN. I'm George Mattis, your host, and I'll be here for the next hour or so with something that is always relevant in sport in Trinidad and Tobago. On today's program, we're going to be talking martial arts, and I'm pleased to have a member of the PKATT Sports Martial Arts Association of Trinidad and Tobago, and I have with me the president, Mr. Martin J. Clashie, and he'll be here for the next hour to highlight and to let you, the viewers, know much more about this organization and what they have planned for 2018. A major tournament is on the horizon, and he's going to tell us a bit about that. So, McClashy, it's a pleasure, and welcome to ACTN.
It's a pleasure being here.
First of all, let's get in a nutshell. PKATT, this organization, some of us might not be aware of it. The name might be new to us. Tell us a bit about your organization.
Well, PKATT was founded about 10 years ago to fill a void that was in the martial arts environment. There were other organizations that were treating with a certain sector, but the contemporary division had no organization that would govern and administer the athletes. So PKATT came on board and took up the slack. We got recognition from the International Federation, a recognition by the Ministry of Sport.
So you're all affiliated with the Ministry of Sport?
Definitely, yes. 10 years now. Right? They recognize the association as the governing body for contemporary sport martial arts. So in that way, we are able to regulate, govern, set standards, set rules and regulations that would administer and coordinate the proper development of the sport. Right? We handle young children from age of under 5 to adults. You know, so that's where we are.
Now, you said you all started about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Take me through the 10 years of your building and where you are presently with the organization.
Well, like in all associations or life on the whole, the teething problems
you always find
were there. We started out, it was a struggle. They had detractors, but we don't take that on. We moved on. We built a circuit, the only full martial arts circuit that we have in Trinidad and Tobago. We run on average about 9 tournaments annually, which produces athletes of the year, athletes of the quarter, championships, and which then we are able to select based on the point standings, people that we can take to a national team, and which we did earlier, late last year as a matter of fact. We took a team to Mexico, and the team did fantastically well. The country got world standing at 47 in the world at the time, and our athletes, we had about 7 of them ranking the top 10. Worldwide is speaking of, you know. So we have achieved over time. For the 10 years, we have put in the groundwork, and we have been able to bring home the bacon. And after that, now we are heading on to the CAC Championships, which would be hosted in Trinidad and Tobago in 2018.
But before we go into that, I know we'll spend some time discussing that project, but you said that you all have basically around 9 tournaments, you know, locally.
Yes.
Tell me a bit about the tournaments themselves, you know, exactly where they were kept, you know, and a little detail.
Well, we usually host events in Shogunas, indoor facility. Yeah, it is pretty central, and so the athletes from around can all gather there. We have a little over 125 competitors averaging for each event, and they range from 6 and under to 19 and over. And as I said earlier, these tournaments are rated. There are some 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars, and out of them, points are allotted to each individual. And if you come first right through the year in each division, it means that your points would be at the top of the game. And
now you said that earlier before when we were talking, your organization doesn't have branches, but you have clubs affiliated to the organization.
Yes, we have clubs affiliated.
How many clubs are affiliated to the
Presently,
association?
we have about 6 clubs.
6 clubs.
Yes, about 6 clubs affiliated from across the country.
So you all are still relatively, I mean, 10 years might seem long, but it's still...
No, 10 years is a short time.
It's a short, yes, it's a short time.
In this business, 10 years
and especially if you want to build a solid foundation.
A solid foundation,
you cannot rush into things.
No, you cannot.
Right.
You cannot.
What are some of the issues? Because in every sporting organization, there are issues. There are things that, you know, obstacles that you have to continue, you know, crossing. What are some of the obstacles that this organization, PKATT, has to undergo on a daily or yearly basis?
Well, our main issue is getting the clubs to understand what a national governing body is.
Okay.
That's the main issue. Because our industry has been operated in a particular way for a number of years, since its inception, as a matter of fact, without any, what am I say, structure. So now that a structure has come in place and you have guidelines to follow, both from the Ministry of Sport and both from the International Federation, it would now mean that you have to ask people to change the way they have been doing business and to do it in another way. And that's the biggest bugbear. But we are able, some people are beginning to understand that we are living in the 21st century and we are dealing with sport, and using sport as an umbrella word, it would mean that you have to operate as a sport.
Right.
And sport requires a certain governance structure, certain accountability, and things like that.
How wide is your organization, the local leg of your organization? How many people, you know, what sort of structure you all have? How do you all operate to make sure that everything is done in accordance with the governing body, right? Who is the head over your organization? And now there is, I think, from what I understand from the Minister of Sports, is that they're going to put a body, I think it's the combat sports, so everything is going to fall under that. Are you all?
That is not entirely so. Not because we are martial arts, we necessarily will fall under the Combat Sport Commission.
Okay, right.
The Combat Sport Commission would be dealing mainly with full contact sport.
Right.
Boxing, MMA, kickboxing, full contact kickboxing, and so on. So that is what the combat sport would be about. In the martial arts area, we're in another area. Okay,
so this wouldn't fall under that?
No, we will not fall under that.
Okay. But the international body that's over you all is who?
WACO,
okay,
World Association of Kickboxing Organizations.
Right. Now, if we go in now, I know that when we spoke over the phone, you were excited because come April 6, 7, and 8, the CAC Games, right, will be held in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
And you are part of it. Let's talk a bit about that now. This is the first time it's going to be happening in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, the first time WACO CAC Games would be hosted at all.
Oh, okay. So it's the first,
ever. And we have been fortunate to get the opportunity to do it in Trinidad and Tobago, which was negotiated when we were in Mexico for the Pan Am Championships. We sat with the executive over there, Pan Am executive, and they conceded to allow us permission to do the first CAC in Trinidad and Tobago.
And you, from where you sit, you are satisfied that you all can pull this off?
We could pull it off.
Okay, because April is right there.
Yeah, April is right there. Yes, yes. We can do it. It is not. It's not difficult to do, and we have the necessary manpower, and we have the logistical things in place that will take care of it. Everything is basically in order. We're just waiting for the time and for people to start to come in.
Right.
Yeah.
The countries that will be taking part.
Right now we are confirmed with Venezuela, Jamaica, Barbados, Guyana, Brazil, Mexico.
No, this is, well, you're calling names there now to really identify that this is going to be a huge tournament, right? What volume, what quantity of people you expect to be here for those 3 days?
Considering the time of year, we are looking at about 200 competitors coming in.
Right.
Yeah.
And it will be held at the Cascadia?
The Cascadia Hotel and Conference Center, yeah.
What will the 3 days entail? What can, you know, a supporter of martial arts witness over the these 3 days?
Well, there will be a lot of excitement, I can tell you this, based on the talent that we have locally and the talent that will be coming in. In each category, there would be point fighting, where the event is, each time a point is scored, the referee will stop the fight and allow the point to the person that scored. Yeah. And then there's another division called the continuous, where the fight goes on straight for 2 minutes of 3 rounds with a minute rest. And then there what's called kick light, which is like Muay Thai in short pants, you know. And then there's the musical forms, which is quite entertaining.
Now, is this open for these members of the club that falls under your organization, or this will be open to other martial artists in Trinidad and Tobago?
It is a member association.
Okay, only.
Yes, yes, right. It's for members, yes. Okay.
Yeah. Right. So, going back to this organization, what do you all hope to achieve in the sport of martial arts? And when I say achieve, as president from where you sit, I'm sure that there's election, so you're serving a term.
Yes.
Right? So how long do you have again as president? When is your term up?
About 4 years.
About 4 years.
Yeah.
In the next 4 years, what do you intend, or where do you intend to take PKATT to, that at the end of the 4 years you can say, well, you have achieved what you have achieved, and look forward maybe to getting another 4 years?
Well, what is on the table right now after CAC, it's World Championships and Pan American Championships. And it is, we are gearing up for that. That will take us notch our world ratings and world standings.
Okay, hold that thought there. We need to take a break. When we come back, you'll continue. Okay. Because you are viewing Scoreboard here on ACTN, and we are talking to Mr. Martin J. Clashie, the president of PKATT. PKATT really is PKATT Sports Martial Arts Association. We are talking martial arts. So we'll be right back after this short break.
Field of Dreams, in collaboration with the Secondary Schools Football League, presents the first inaugural All-Star Weekend 2017 at the Manirabdon Stadium in Margaret on Saturday the 9th and Sunday the 10th of December 2017. Come out on Saturday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. to witness the skills competition. See the 60-meter dash, team relay with ball, juggling competition, penalty shootout, and much more. Sunday at 3 p.m. vying for the Field of Dreams Challenge Shield. The North All-Star battle the South All-Star. Admission free of charge. Come see the best of the college players for 2017 in action. Don't miss this one. Don't believe me, just watch.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACT, and it's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 and 9.
Welcome to the new season of Football 101. I am your host, Joshua De Matos.
Well, it's time for your weekly football news update. I love you, Messi.
Unfortunately,
Hey, kiss the badge, kiss the badge. Oh, what's that? Welcome to this edition of the interview, and as you can see, I'm not alone on the set. I have Marcus, a Liverpool fan, and I have Shakir.
Welcome back, viewers. Mr. McClashy, before the break, I interrupted you.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yes, yes. So we are gearing up as we speak. Although we are having the CAC, so which means that we are going into CAC, and out of CAC we'll be heading in September to World Championships, and in November the Pan American Championships.
Okay.
It is my hope, dream, vision that we do even better than we did in Mexico, and that we can raise our standings, and our juniors in particular can begin to get their ratings and rankings up to a higher world standard.
Now, martial arts is going to be in the Olympics, right? Are you all setting eyes of maybe to have a member of your organization, work towards that?
Not at this time,
present.
because as a matter of fact, karate would be in the Olympics.
Oh, karate, right.
Which is different from us.
Okay.
Different in the sense that,
You need to explain that to me and also to the viewers, right? You all are martial arts,
yeah.
right? And karate. What
Yeah.
is the...
Okay, the difference would be that martial arts is an umbrella term,
Okay,
while karate is a specialized area,
okay,
right? Karate being Japanese oriented.
okay,
Taekwondo is Korean oriented.
okay.
So when we speak to martial arts, we speak in particularly in our case, we speak of contemporary. We are modern style of martial arts.
Okay, not the Japanese. Or
Not the
Korean,
Japanese,
okay.
not the Korean.
Right.
Yeah.
And the same modern style, that's a style locally
Yes,
invented?
most of it is locally done. Created, developed, mix and match.
Right.
And
So the clubs that is in this organization, each of them will have a different style,
basically, yes.
basically.
Yes,
and
yeah.
this style is created by their
The instructors.
instructors
Yeah.
and so forth. Now, how do these clubs contribute to the organization? Because why I'm asking this question is that you mentioned a lot of major international tournaments,
Yeah.
next year. Now, this brings to the forefront funding, because a trip now, especially with what's happening, it's tough. Who funds the teams or the athletes that go abroad? Do they do it themselves? What part your organization play? And as again, go back to the first part of the question, do the organization, contribute, I don't know if you want to say a registration fee or something like that to the organization?
Well, each member has to pay their registration fee. Clubs pay their registration fee.
And that goes to the organization?
Yeah, that goes to the organization to take care of administrative operations, as the case might be. But when having projects like going away and so forth, we embark on fundraisers, and we get assistance from the Ministry of Sport. So between what we get from the Ministry of Sport and the fundraisers that we do, we are then able to make the trips.
Okay. Now, the CAC Games is going to be held in Cascadia in Port of Spain in April.
Yeah.
How is that going to be funded? Because, first of all, you have to house the athletes. Or are they going to be, how are they going
the athletes that are coming?
That are coming in.
The athletes that are coming
Right.
in,
So-
they are covering their costs.
Oh, so they are covering the
Yes,
cost.
yes,
So
they are
that,
covering
okay.
their costs, yes.
Right. And I guess they all are going to be staying at the same venue.
Basically,
Right.
yes.
And that is where the 3 days of,
Yes,
coming.
yes.
But still, a cost is going to be incurred. Right?
Yeah.
So what plans do you all have? I know you said the ministry is going to come on board. sponsorship and things like that? How are you all generating funds to?
Well, we have made overtures to corporate TNT.
Okay.
And like I say, we are heavily into the fundraising aspect of it. And the ministry would lend a level of assistance. So we have a three-pronged attack on it right now. You know, so we're hoping that as far as that goes, we should be covered.
Martial arts. Is martial arts a growing sport in Trinidad and Tobago? And is the martial arts clubs or organization, you know, are they fully committed coming under one umbrella? You can choose not to answer that question, you know, because you know why? You know, in sports there are so many little, you know, things that is preventing the body from really, you know, functioning properly.
Yes, there are, but like I said earlier, in this particular industry, some people are set in their ways. Some people are a little more forward thinking. So we take what we get from that perspective as far as membership goes. If you do not become part of, well, you cannot be part of.
Okay.
You know, it is like any other sport. If you want to play cricket, you know where you have to go.
Okay.
If you want to play hockey, you know where you have to go. So if you want to be part of the real martial arts growth and development, you know where you have to be.
Well, your organization is responsible for what?
Meaning what?
Just overseeing the clubs that is under your umbrella and making sure that they act accordingly, put on major tournaments, or the clubs can put on tournaments and it will be sanctioned by PKATT.
Yes.
Right? Now, when these clubs put on their tournaments or whatever it is, what part does the PKATT plays? Do you send representatives to make sure, or how do they acquire the professional judging and, you know, officials and things like that?
Well, when a club wants to host a tournament, they make the application. Having done that, everything is left in the hands of the organization.
Okay.
All the
that's your organization.
the PKATT.
Yeah.
Yes, we run the tournament.
Okay.
So the rules are consistent.
You get officials and,
yes.
and everything, and
yes.
you outline the structure.
The structure of how the
yeah,
tournament has to be managed and coordinated, etc.
All the club needs to do is to bring the athletes.
That's it. Yes, that's it. Yeah, and in that way you have consistency to the rules, and everybody that are judges and referees are trained. Some trained nationally. We have some national judges and we have some international judges.
Okay.
So the athlete is reasonably sure that he's getting a fair break.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if we go back to the 10 years that this organization has been in existence, right? Is there anything looking back that you felt that you should have done differently and is going to learn from wherever? Because we make mistakes in everything we do until we get that right right pattern or formula, right? But looking back, would you say that it has been a successful 10 years, or you all could have done things a bit different? If so, in what areas?
That's a tricky question. And I'm not saying this to say that we would have done everything good.
Yeah.
You know, but it's still, we're still in one area that we have to appreciate, that we have come into a space that you have to create change. And that's the problem.
We hate change.
Yes. And what else, what mistakes can we not make but to do it right?
Okay. You might not get it right the first time.
Yes.
But the second and third time,
Yes.
you're not going
But
to get it right.
so, as long as you do it right, and if individuals are not aware that this is the right and this is the process and the procedure, they will assume that you're doing it wrong. And that's it overall.
So you are quite happy with the last 10 years, right?
Yes.
That you all have done your best, right? And you continue to strive for excellence.
Yeah.
And when your term is up, you'll be satisfied and you will go for another 4 years.
I'll go for another 4 years.
Because the vision you have cannot be completed in 4 years. You see, that is something that I realize that sometimes happens with organization, especially when you are given a term, right? Like some organizations get a 2-year or 3-year. But I mean, what can you do? Let's say you take over an organization that has been in turmoil.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You cannot bring
Fix
that
it.
and fix that in 2 years.
No.
You know, so I want to take this opportunity to thank you for coming and highlighting this PKATT organization, because it's the first time I heard about them, in fact, right?
Okay.
But I'm quite happy to have you here and being part of, what you all are going to be having next year,
Yes.
right? And we'll try to assist you in any way possible,
Yes.
right? And we wish you a successful CHC Games. I mean, we're talking about it right now in November, but April is right around the corner. So by the time, you reach the port spin and come back, it might be time for the tournament. So is there any parting words you want to share with the viewers before we leave, before we wrap up?
I would just like to say thanks to you and your company for inviting me here this evening.
Yes, yes.
This evening.
Yeah.
And I am sure that at the CAC, you will be there to give us the necessary coverage.
Mr. Clashie, it was a pleasure. And we
Same
wish you
here.
all the best.
All right,
Well,
thank
viewers, you have heard the voice of Mr. Martin J. McClashy, the president of PKATT Sports Martial Arts Association. Remember, they will be hosting the CSE Games in April of next year, the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th at Cascadia Hotel. We here at ACC are going to be keeping you up to date with what is happening with this tournament, and we hope that the martial arts students or members out there, even if you are not affiliated with this organization, but you can go out and support because it's martial arts. And you can continue to view ACTN and Scoreboard, and we are going to be keeping you up to date, as I said. We're going to take a break and come back.